Imagine a world before empires, before written history, stretching across vast, untamed plains. A land where nomadic horsemen forged powerful, sophisticated cultures that shaped the very course of our civilization. We often think of ancient Egypt, Rome, or Greece, but the heart of Eurasia, the boundless steppes of what is now Kazakhstan, holds secrets equally profound, equally vital to understanding our past. And just recently, archaeologists have made a discovery that has sent ripples of excitement through the scientific community. They've found not just a single ancient grave, but a sprawling necropolis, a city of the dead, comprising over 150 burial mounds. These aren't just hills of dirt, they are silent monuments of a potentially lost civilization, a culture whose existence, whose unique customs and power, are only now beginning to emerge from the dust of millennia. Today, we're going to uncover the mysteries of Kazakhstan's incredible new archaeological find, only on The Weekly Strange. Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Weekly Strange. I'm your host, John F. Mers, author, actor, adventurer. And yes, I know we just did an episode of The Weekly Strange on the dig site at Orismani, but I came across this, so buckle up. Kazakhstan, the 9th largest country in the world, is dominated by its immense steppes. For thousands of years, these grasslands were home to countless nomadic tribes, like the Scythians, the Huns, the Turks, all of them leaving their mark on history. But the sheer scale of the landscape means that countless secrets still lie buried, hidden beneath the shifting sands and rolling plains. And that's what makes this recent discovery so remarkable. In the West Kazakhstan region, near a place called Ural, a team of archaeologists utilizing modern survey techniques combined with traditional excavation methods has identified a massive complex of ancient burial mounds. These aren't just a handful of graves. We're talking about 150 approximately individual kurgans clustered together. Now, a kurgan, if you're like me, you first heard that name in The Highlander, but it is actually a type of burial mound, typically associated with the Bronze and Iron Ages, found across the Eurasian steppe. They are essentially artificial hills, often containing elaborate grave goods and sometimes multiple interments. The preliminary analysis, based on the archaeological context and comparative studies with known sites, dates these mounds to the early Iron Age. And this places them at well over 2,000 years old, giving us a window into a period of profound cultural development and significant societal changes across Eurasia. Now, this wasn't just a small settlement. This was a major ritual and burial landscape, suggesting a population with considerable organization and resources. The discovery was the result of a multi-stage process. Archaeologists first used aerial surveys and drone technology to spot the subtle ancient depressions and mounds that are often invisible from the ground. Following this, they used ground-penetrating radar to map the sites, confirming the presence of man-made structures and potential burial chambers beneath the surface. This layered approach allowed them to identify the full extent of the complex without moving a single shovelful of dirt. What immediately struck the archaeologists as strange, and highly significant about this discovery is not just the sheer number of mounds, but their incredible diversity in shape and construction. While we often envision kurgans as simple circular mounds, this site actually presented a much more complex picture. The archaeologists identified several distinct types: rectangular mounds. These are less common for the period and region, often suggesting a different cultural influence or burial practice. And then there were circular mounds, the classic kurgan shape, but even these showed variations in size and elevation. And then there were rare double ring formations, and this is perhaps the most intriguing aspect. These double ring kurgans are particularly unusual for the early Iron Age in this region. Such complex architectural forms often signify a unique cultural identity, a distinct set of beliefs, or even a different social hierarchy within the community. They required, obviously, more planning, more labor, and a deeper symbolic meaning. The striking variety in mound construction suggests something profound. We might be looking at a cultural group, or at least a significant branch of a known culture, with unique traditions. Of these formations is a powerful clue that we are not simply looking at another typical Sarmatian or Saka burial ground, but potentially something far more distinct, perhaps even a previously unidentified culture. Now, the fact that the site contains all of these variations in a single location suggests a diverse or evolving society, one that either integrated multiple cultural traditions over time or had a complex internal social structure with different burial rites for different groups. Archaeologists are already theorizing that this necropolis may be a mosaic of different families, clans, or even tribes who shared a common location but maintained their own traditions, a testament to the dynamic social landscape of the ancient steppe. Now, among the 150 mounds, one stands out dramatically, hinting at the presence of immense power and a sophisticated social structure. This particular mound is not only larger than the others, but it's encircled by a massive, deliberate moat-like ditch. This central, monumental kurgan measures nearly 140 meters across. To put that into perspective, that's almost 460 feet, significantly larger than a standard American football field. The sheer scale of this single burial indicates that the individual interred within was almost certainly of incredibly high status. We are likely talking about a tribal leader, a powerful warlord, or even an early king who commanded vast resources and a large population. The construction of such a monumental grave with a surrounding moat speaks volumes about the society that built it. It implies highly organized labor. Building a mound of that size, let alone digging a 140-meter moat, would have required a large, organized workforce and meticulous planning. It also means that they had access to advanced engineering. It showcases a level of understanding of earthworks and construction that speaks to a very sophisticated society. And it also points to profound ritual significance. The moat wasn't just for defense. It almost certainly had a symbolic, ritualistic purpose, perhaps separating the sacred burial space from the mundane world, or signifying the deceased's transition to the afterlife. This king's mound, if you will, is the focal point of the discovery, a tantalizing promise of what further excavation might reveal about the leadership, wealth, and spiritual beliefs of this ancient people. It suggests a civilization capable of monumental projects, not just isolated nomadic bands. It is a powerful counterpoint to the long-held notion of nomadic societies as being simple and unstructured. This massive earthwork implies a society with the ability to mobilize a huge number of people for a common purpose, a hallmark of a complex, stratified civilization. Now, obviously, it's important to remember that this discovery, while monumental, is still in its early stages. At this point, the mounds have been identified, surveyed, and their existence confirmed. However, full-scale excavation has not yet begun. The next critical steps involve the following: official designation, the site must first be officially designated as a protected cultural monument by the Kazakh government. This legally safeguards the area from development and ensures its preservation. Then it needs funding and research. A significant amount of funding will need to be secured to support the extensive field work required for excavation, analysis, and conservation. International partnerships with archaeological institutions are often key to such large-scale projects. Imagine the artifacts they might contain. If they are similar to other Sarmatian and Saka burials found in the region, they could hold incredible treasures. Sarmatian gold, for example, is famous for its intricate animal-style artistry depicting leopards, griffins, and other mythological creatures. Finding such objects would provide critical insights into their beliefs, their connections to other cultures through trade, and their artistic prowess. Furthermore, organic materials like wooden bowls, clothing, or even preserved remains are of immense value. These are exceptionally rare finds in the often harsh climate of Kazakhstan, and they could provide critical information on diet, health, and daily life. And then there's the most exciting prospect for the potential to recover ancient DNA analysis from skeletal remains. This could help scientists determine the genetic lineage of the people buried here, allowing them to confirm or deny their relation to other known nomadic groups like the Sarmatians or Saka, and to map their migration routes across the Eurasian steppe. This discovery in the West Kazakhstan region is a powerful reminder that history is not a static book, but a living, breathing narrative, constantly being revised and expanded. We've talked about this before. Every new discovery adds pages to our understanding of our own history. It challenges us to reconsider our understanding of early Eurasian cultures and the dynamic complexity of the nomadic societies that thrived across the steppe. The 150 burial mounds represent chapters of human history waiting to be read. They promise to reveal a lost civilization with its own unique customs, its own powerful leaders, and its own enduring mysteries. Kazakhstan continues to prove itself as a treasure trove of ancient history, a place where the earth still holds secrets capable of rewriting our shared past. We'll be watching closely as the story unfolds, as the silent mounds prepare to finally tell their tale. And one final note, last week we looked at the Orazmani dig site in Georgia. That is only roughly 500 miles or so away from this site in western Kazakhstan. So, is there a connection? Who knows? Stay tuned. We're going to find out more as news breaks on this interesting topic. Okay, that's going to do it for this episode of The Weekly Strange. If you enjoyed the show, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my new uploads. And if you really like the content I'm creating, please consider joining the channel as a member, and you get access to some really cool perks. Welcome to everybody new that has joined the channel. I appreciate your support as always. I will see you in another couple of days with a brand new episode of The Weekly Strange. And somewhere in the process, we're going to get that episode of Extra Strange out as well. And then we've got some big stuff lined up for October, so you're not going to want to miss that. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Good night.